Hi, Roger here again. Welcome back to my channel. Now in this video I'm going to talk a bit about the difference between a router and a switch and how you can use these devices to add functionality to your network. Alright, so let's jump right into it. Now firstly, these three devices that you're looking at here are switches. And the essence of a switch is that it allows you to add or to build capacity on your network, and that is by enabling you to just get a device. You have a new device that you want to connect to your network. You're going to connect one end to your switch, your network port goes into there, and then the other end would go into the device that you want to add to the network. So that's it. Now on the other hand, now the router allows you to connect two different networks together. So you have your LAN, for instance, you want to hook it up to a wide area network, a WAN. You're going to be needing a router to do that. In addition to that, the router does a very crucial function. It plays a very crucial part in the scheme of things in the network infrastructure, in that it does IP translation. On your local area network, your IP address will be private, whereas on a wide area network, the IP address will be public. Two different types of IP addresses. And so what the router does is to convert from a private IP address to a public IP address when there is communication between the two networks. So that is really the essence as it relates to the difference between the two. Now coming back to talk about the switch. Switches come in different sizes, and the size here that I'm referring to is not necessarily the physical size in terms of how long or how broad it is, but rather by the amount of ports that the switch has. They come in standard sizes, so we're looking at things like 8 ports, 16 ports, 24 ports, 48 ports, just to give you an idea. The thing too, yes, well, routers will come in different ports. They will have different sizes too. So if you notice, this one is a 5-port router. This should be about the same. Yeah, so the same 5-port. All right. So you'll find that they will have significantly less ports than what you will have on your switch. And this is because, as I mentioned before, you use a switch to scale your network, to expand your network, right, in terms of being able to add more devices to the network. All right. Now further to that, there are two different types of switches. We have the unmanaged switch, which are these two here, and then there is the managed switch. Now the difference between the two is that with an unmanaged switch, it is bare basics. It basically allows you to just scale your network by just connecting another device to the network via your switch. All right. And I should also say that the switch will forward your packets on the network via the MAC address, whereas the router forwards packets based on the IP address. All right. Okay. Now coming back to the managed and unmanaged switches. So the unmanaged switch, all it does is that it allows you to just add devices. Okay. Now with the managed switch, so what you're looking at here is a managed switch. This is a Cisco Catalyst 2960 series. With the managed switch, it has a whole lot of functionalities built into it. So typically we'll have things like quality of service, that's QoS. And these are, what I just mentioned here, are also features that are typically built into a router. So with quality of service, you can, for instance, prioritize particular network traffic. So you may have services like a database service, or it may be the service for your network camera, your surveillance camera system. You want to give priority service to those traffic, right? And so you can specify the amount of bandwidth that you allocate to these high priority services, and so prioritize them over other traffic, network traffic, which are of less priority. So maybe just browsing the web would not be considered to be something which is high priority. All right. So That is how you can use a switch, a managed switch on the network. Now, where the router is concerned, the router typically will have a lot of security functionalities built into it. So you're talking about things like firewall, and here now you can configure the firewall that is built into the router to filter traffic and to, you know, determine who it is that you give permission to access your network. And of course, things like VPN support is a part of your router also, and quality of service, as I mentioned before. So in a nutshell, you can use these devices to build capacity, to improve on the performance, the security, and the reliability of your network. You can also use these devices to enable, you know, collaboration on the network. All right. One of the things that you will find too is that on your network you may have a lot of congestion based on, you know, the volume of traffic and the specific type of traffic which is that are passing through your network. And as I mentioned before, you know, you can use things like quality of service to manage the congestion on your network. So that is really it, essentially, in a nutshell. Where cost is concerned, you'll find that the unmanaged switches will be, you know, far less expensive than an unmanaged switch. So an unmanaged switch, let's just say a 16 port, will be running, you know, somewhere like about 50 or 60 US dollars. This managed switch, which is from Cisco Catalyst 2960, will run you at least 250, 260 US dollars thereabout. All right. Again, routers, again, they will come with different prices based on the functionalities. So you're looking at anywhere like about 50 US dollars up. All right. So that is really the difference between the two and how you can use them to build capacity on your network. All right. Again, I'm Raja. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share, and to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet done so. Hit the notification bell also while you're at it. All right. See you again in the next video. Take care.